Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be talking about why it looks like a boating DLC or a pirate-themed update or just a naval sea update could be the next DLC in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, this is certainly not an original idea. People have been asking for a update that focuses on aquatics or naval battles or, pirate life for probably a long time. In fact, we've covered concepts months ago talking about how a naval update that focused on the water and the sea would be really cool. However, with the recent addition of Smuggler's Run, that reality looks like it could be becoming even more true. So let's talk about the logistics of the last few updates before we get into some of the hints and clues in the game. So for example, the last two updates we've got was Smuggler's Run and Gun Running. So Gun Running focused purely on land vehicles. There was not a single aircraft in that update, and there was not a single watercraft in that update. It was all military themed and all land vehicles. Now, the exact opposite, Smuggler's Run, is about 90% military air vehicles, and then the rest, the other 10% is, just regular land vehicles. There's only a couple in this update. So we've tackled land, we've tackled air, but where is the update regarding the sea? And even if we go back to previous DLCs, we've had two DLCs that have been based for the most part on aircrafts, the San Andreas Flight School update and Smuggler's Run. We've had a ton of updates, nearly every single one, that focus, at least for a central theme, around land vehicles. So the only update that you could kind of classify as a sea update would be the very first one we got in the game about 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago, and that is the Beach Bum update, which only featured, I think it was 1 or 2 boats, like a dune buggy and then a van. And that was it. And then some like beach kind of clothing, like swim trunks and sunglasses and stuff like that. So it wasn't super complicated. It was the first update in online. There wasn't a whole lot of, craziness going on regarding that. So it kind of seems fitting that the next update that Rockstar would do, or at least one in the future, would revolve around the sea. So let's talk about why that would work. Number one, it would create the trifecta of going land, air, and sea vehicles as far as adding a business theme to it. Rockstar love their business themes, and they see it as a money-making opportunity for them. So they could add some sort of money-making attachment or business to the sea update. And number two, as I've mentioned, this isn't an update that they've tackled yet. So this would be, at least for the most part, a new theme that potentially a lot of people would enjoy. So now let's talk about some of the hints and clues in game that could lead us to believe an update like this is going to happen. So I'm not sure who discovered this first or where this information got passed around from, but anyways, we are going to be talking about tattoos here. Yes, that's right, tattoos. So in Cunning Stunts, which was the racing DLC that came out in July of 2016, we had biker-themed tattoos. Well, what was the next update that came out in October of 2016? It was none other than bikers. In December of 2016, we got import-export. We had clothing and tattoos that had a military theme. What was the next big update? Well, it was Gun Running, the military DLC. And now with Smuggler's Run, which is an aviation theme, we have a ton of tattoos with a sea and pirate theme. And it might be a hint at what the next DLC's theme is going to be. So a lot of them are pretty crazy, like maps and, pirate skulls and ships and stuff like that. Really blatantly obvious stuff that it's not about airplanes. Now, it's not all pirate stuff. There are some airplanes and stuff, helicopters, kind of brought in there. But for the most part, it's all like skulls and crossbones and pirates and ships and maps. And there's even one map that looks to be like a secret treasure map. Now, that's like a completely different subject for a completely different video, but I still think it's very interesting, the layout of these tattoos and how they're 90% for the most part all about ships, pirates, krakens, vehicles that would revolve around a sea-style update. Now, could a sea-based DLC work in Grand Theft Auto Online? I think that is probably the biggest question, and honestly, that likely comes down to your personal preference. Now, not everyone is going to love an update like that, Just like not everyone probably loves the fact that Smuggler's Run is all about airplanes for the most part. I'm sure there's some people that despise airplanes and don't like a thing about this update. Just like there's some people that probably despise the watercraft vehicles and would hate an update like this. But there is a good majority of people that would enjoy, and it's also a theme that's been neglected for years now. So the possibility is there. Now, Rockstar have played around with the ocean a little bit. So for example, in the heist update, there was the inclusion of the aircraft carrier that took us out to sea on one of those missions. It was a ton of fun. The aircraft carrier in and of itself is incredibly detailed and has a ton of things on it, including, war rooms, vehicles that spawn on there. So that's something that Rockstar could use. They've tinkered with yachts a little bit in the Executives and Other Criminals update, how they gave us that. There was obviously the Beach Bum DLC in 2013, but other than that, there's not been a lot for the water. Like they added the Kraken into the game, which is a free submarine for the most part, but just little hints and pieces here and there, but nothing that's crazy concrete that suggests Rockstar has totally wanted to dive into something like that. So let's talk about how an update like this could work. We know Rockstar love their business updates, and I would imagine that if they were to do an update based on the sea, they wouldn't just do watercrafts and vehicles like that. They would tie it to some sort of business. Now, I could see us operating either out of something like the aircraft carrier or a mobile operations center boat. Or maybe, since we already have these in the game, Rockstar could transform the yachts to be a little bit more business savvy. Maybe there's just upgrades to the yachts that we do, and then boom, it turns it into an MOC war room style yacht that allows us to launch missions from there, to return cargo to the yachts, or maybe do a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, the vehicles are pretty self-explanatory. There's so many things Rockstar could do. They could do fast boats. They could do, micro yachts. They could do submarines. So many different things and so many different possibilities for watercrafts that we honestly don't have in the game right now. And it doesn't stop there. There's lots of possibilities for other things like clothing. We could add more, swimsuits. We could add wetsuits, diving gear, scuba diving stuff for online, actually. Even weapons. You could do things like harpoons or torpedo guns or something like that. I'm not even sure. But there's a lot of different things that you could do for an update like this that I think would work really well. And it doesn't necessarily have to all be about water vehicles like we've seen with the Smuggler's Run update. There's a few cars sprinkled in there, and Rockstar could do the same thing here. They could even go back and make the Ardent, make that into a watercraft or a submersible vehicle, kind of like it is in the James Bond film. So I think there's a lot of different things that Rockstar could do here that could just be absolutely incredible with an update like this. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. What do you think of the possibility of an update like this occurring? Given the information that we know so far, the fact that we've gotten gun running and Smuggler's Run, will Rockstar complete that trifecta, giving us a sea-based DLC? And do you think the tattoo hints are something legitimate, or do you think it's just one giant coincidence? I mean, if it only happened once, I would say that's a little bit random. But the fact that it's happened on multiple updates, foreshadowing the next one, to me is a little suspicious. So let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.